Hi there, welcome back to Beautiful Souls to Speak with Asu. In the last episode, we met Ella Rubinstein, a woman living an ordinary, quiet life that begins to change when she picked up a manuscript called Sweet Blasphemy. And today, in part 2, we open the pages of the manuscript and they step into the 13th century and into Dust and Poetry of Konya, where a wandering dervish works through the world with nothing but a rubber stick and the fire of truth in his heart. His name is Shams Tabriz. They say Shams was like the wind. You couldn't predict him, you couldn't hold him, you couldn't truly understand him. He lived far from comfort and fame. He wasn't searching for gold, food, or shelter. He was searching for something greater, a companion of the soul, someone who could see the world not with the eyes of fear, but with the eyes of love. And this search led him to one man, Jalaluddin Rumi, the respected scholar, predictor, preacher, and poet of Konya. A man admired by thousands, a man who had knowledge but not yet the flames. Shams had a mission. He believed that God was not to be found in mosques or scriptures also, but in the beating heart of every human being. He wandered from city to city, whispering his 40 rules of love to anyone ready to listen, but most people called him strange, even dangerous, because he broke boundaries. He believed that true love could break down every wall, religion, status, gender, culture, everything. Before meeting Rumi, Shams had a vision that somewhere out there a man was waiting to awaken, a man who knew all the words of love but hadn't yet felt love. That man was Rumi. Meanwhile, in the present day, Ella is reading all of this, completely absorbed. The story inside Sweet Blasphemy begins to touch her heart in unexpected ways. Through Shams, she starts questioning her own beliefs about love and faith. Through Rumi, she begins to see what it means to let your heart lead instead of fear. And as she reads, she feels something stirring inside her, like a quiet revolution of the soul. It's as if every word is reminding her that life is not meant to be lived half awakened, that love, when it's real, doesn't just stay gentle, it shakes the ground beneath your feet. Part 2 of 40 Rules of Love brings us to a powerful realization that the people who enter our lives are not accidents. Each soul we meet carries a message, a lesson, or a mirror. Some stay for years, others for a moment, but all come to teach us something essential about ourselves. Sham was Rumi's teacher, but he was also his mirror. He came to show Rumi that love isn't something to be spoken of, it's something to be lived. And maybe for Ella, the writer of Sweet Blasphemy, A.Z. Jahara, is her Shams, someone who has entered her life through words to remind her that she still has a heart capable of feeling, of believing, of awakening. So, listen from this part 2. The path to the truth is a labor of the heart, not of the head. Make your heart your primary guide, not your mind. Meet challenge and ultimately conquer your heart fears with your heart. And our mind may calculate, question, and fear, but our hearts, they know. When we listen to the inner voice, we begin to live with more honesty, more courage, and more love. So, part 2 teaches us that transformations begins when we dare to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the whisper of the soul. Because sometimes all it takes is one meeting, one word, one person, one truth to change the direction of an entire life. So thank you for joining me in this beautiful chapter of 40 Rules of Love. Next time in part 3, we will witness the first meeting of Rumi and Shams. That moment when love in its purest moment or most divine form begins to unfold. Until then, keep your heart open and remember, love doesn't knock politely. It enters when you least expect it and transforms everything you thought you knew. Thank you for listening.